Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are Pete Damiano and Kirk Phillips of the band Homebrewed, among other things, which we will get to. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Dennis.
And this is one of those occasions. Usually we are talking about events out in the community, sometimes fundraisers, often fundraisers for different causes. And this is a case where the fundraiser that we are talking about is for a cause very close to my heart, which is KCCK.
Yay!
Because Homebrewed and Musicians Local 450 of the Johnson County area are hosting a fundraiser for KCCK's jazz education programs, which we have dubbed Union Blues. And Kirk, you kind of represent the Musicians Union for us here today. So before we talk about the event in general, talk a little bit about the American Federation of Musicians, what it's done for you as a musician in the area, and what your hopes are for that organization moving forward.
Sure. Currently, we have about 34 members in eastern Iowa. We do not do collective bargaining. The Local 450 was chartered in about 1937.
Wow.
AFM,
So darn near 100 years ago.
Yep. American Federation of Musicians was chartered in about 1885. And we exist to advance live music, setting up relationships with obviously members of the union, as well as venues in the community. So this fundraiser is an opportunity for us to connect with the community. We're looking forward to it.
And Pete, Homebrewed as a band is very focused on much more focused on helping out other organizations than other music organizations might be. So donating services and helping to put this event on, that's right up your alley.
Right, exactly.
How did Homebrewed get started with that angle in mind?
Music with a mission is what we call it, and we've now been playing for about 10 years. And we started originally with a number of us who were part of the College of Dentistry at the University of Iowa, not all, and they were.
That's always where you go looking for musicians.
Yeah, of course,
in the
absolutely.
University community.
Yeah,
go to the College of Dentistry.
Right? Yeah, and they were raising money to build an addition onto the college, and so part of our origin story is that event, but a lot of us, or all of us really, have an alternative occupation, if you will. And so we're very fortunate, as opposed to people who are musicians and are trying to grind it out and make a living. And so we wanted to use this as a way to give back and enjoy playing music and sharing with people. And so it's now grown. We've now done over 60 events, and we've been a part of raising over $400,000 really across the Midwest, mostly in the Iowa City, Cedar Rapids area, but Des Moines, Rock Island, Milwaukee, some other places. And we really feel like it's a great opportunity for us to share, and like with all things, when you donate, you get more out of it than than you get. The giving is very valuable.
This also keeps you from necessarily competing with other musicians too. So
right.
Allows you to serve kind of a part of the community that is not served.
Absolutely. And so one of my musical mentors, and really one of the part of the origin story of our band, is Mr. Kevin Burt, who you all know very well, I'm sure, if you're watching this. And Kevin was my first harmonica teacher, but when we were first getting started, he would open for us at the mill, and which was kind of silly descent, but he wanted to do that to both help us, and he does a lot of benefit concerts himself, and so really saw that value, and just seeing how hard Kevin worked. As you say, we have no interest in trying to compete with the Kevin Burts, or the others who are really trying to do this, or Dave Zolo, who we're going to be playing with at this event. I mean, they're trying to make a living out of this, and you're exactly right. We didn't want to try to compete with that.
And you have recruited Dave Zolo and his Body Electric, award-winning band, huge, that tours all over the region. Right. One of our leading bands in the area, as to be a part of this too, which is
right. And he's also
awesome,
an AFM 450 member, and so Kirk and I and Dave, I'm the most recent, but Dave has been a member for quite a few years, right?
Yeah,
Kirk?
absolutely.
And So he was a natural for this.
Yeah. Are there is the union in a position to, maybe more the national organization, but that's also where sometimes musicians can get, benefits, health insurance, and that kind of thing too, right?
Health insurance isn't a frontline product. Instrument insurance, there are many services. I would say we are more an association of like-minded musicians.
Okay, sure.
Creating an environment for live music. So as we're kind of creating our current project is to create standards of wage and labor standards where some bands, and I used to haul equipment and do sound with Pete, so that many of the expenses in putting on a show are acknowledged and hopefully reimbursed, at a minimum, to understand what it takes. The AFM is also active in contracting so that streaming and other digital distribution of music is accounted for and ideally reimbursed. The artificial intelligence issues are growing in music.
That's not going away. Yeah.
Right. So the union has an increased plate of goods that we're supporting our membership with.
And places too, you mentioned contracting. It's also a place where a musician can go to get good boilerplate contracts for performance fees and things like that, knowing that, hey, if I use this template, we're covered.
Absolutely.
Which is huge.
AFM.org has about 5 contracts. So anything from collective bargaining for a large symphony down through local performances of single bands or solo musicians. And the contracts are important where some have not been paid. We have many anecdotes among our members that play the performance and pack up your gear, and there's not a check waiting. The terms of payment are important. People like Dave Zolo are aiming to make a full-time living. That's how he puts food on his table and cares for his family, traveling the Midwest, as you say. So it's critical that there be fair reimbursement for musicians.
Union Blues, first-time event for us, and this is coming up on the 9th of November, and we are starting at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yep. 4 p.m., and we'll be at the Wildwood Saloon, which is a great music venue on the east side of Iowa City. And you all have done all the legwork for this. So first off, thank you so much. We've got a great afternoon of music playing. Homebrewed's going to play. And then Dave Zolo, and he's also bringing his full band, the Body Electric. You could have excused him if he was just say, well, I'll just kind of do a little set, or I'll sit in, or what. But he is all in, which we appreciate so much.
Right.
He's bringing the full band.
And one of the things about when we do these events with many of the organizations, we try to do more than, we'll play the music, you put it all on. So like we just did one with NAMI out at the Walker Homestead recently, where we, just like with this one, we want to be involved in helping with the logistics. And we know so many of the nonprofits like KCCK and others are working off of, a lot of people doing lots of different things and don't have a lot of bandwidth. And so we want to contribute in that way in addition to just playing the music.
There will be a silent auction as well. And one of the very cool ideas that you brought to the table for silent auction was for musicians and music teachers to offer lessons on the silent auction, which is a great idea.
Suzanne Smith has put up 2 certificates, each with 4 lessons that are prepaid, and so the auction will raise money. Dave Rizzazo, studio on Gilbert in Iowa City, both are union members of Local 450, and others. West, of course, has jumped in as a corporate sponsor. We're always grateful.
Yeah, always grateful to West Music. Yeah, this is a great. I love this because it's a great opportunity. If maybe you have a child or a grandchild that you might be interested in music lessons, but you know what? Maybe maybe someone who has made their living, say, on the radio, but has always wanted to get back to playing piano or guitar or something like that, might want to get a couple lessons under their belt so that maybe they could get back into making music too. So it could be anybody.
November 9th at the Woodland.
That's right.
Wildwood. You can bid.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to a great afternoon, and it's Sunday afternoon. We'll start a little early, so people who got to get up and go to work and everything on Monday will be able to do that.
And if people aren't familiar with Wildwood, they've got really good barbecue. So,
Yes.
the food is really good.
Oh, yeah. If you leave hungry, it's not our fault.
Right. And great sight lines for the music. And we do bluesy rock and roll. We've got a horn section. That's another thing we like to think makes us a little bit unusual to most the local bands and most of the local blues bands. And obviously Dave Zolo is great.
Yeah, it's going to be a great afternoon of music, all to benefit KCCK's jazz and blues and music education programs with Homebrewed and AFM Local 450 and, of course, Dave Zolo and the Body Electric. We can get tickets at the Wildwood website, which is, I think, wildwoodsaloon.com. There's a spot on KCCK's website, kcck.org/unionblues. We'll also give you more information and take you to the website. Well, gentlemen, as I said, when you came to us with this, it came at exactly the right time. We had just received word that the federal money had gone away, and we're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, how are we going to keep everything going? And this effort will be huge in helping keep our jazz education programs going, even during this new environment.
Well, and thank you to KCCK for bringing the jazz and the blues in a way that nobody else does. And so it's really important, we believe, and the youth programming too, which is just great.
Well, it's our joint goal that it keeps going, and if we can have success at things like this, it will. So November 9th, 4 p.m. at the Wildwood Saloon in Iowa City. Get your tickets at kcck.org/unionblues and get ready for a fun afternoon and evening of music with Homebrewed and Dave Zolo. Gentlemen, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Always
Thanks,
a pleasure.
Dennis. It was great.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.